begin with a word of prayer. Our Holy Father, we come before you this night, grateful and thankful for another beautiful day, to have the privilege of living and serving in a community of such good people. We pray that you will bless our community, small though we may be, and that, Father, we may live up to the ideals you hold out for us. Especially, Father, are we mindful of our own frailties and our own limitations. And yet, Father, we know that you've used small things to accomplish great things. Father, we pray that we might have the faith and the wisdom to do that. We pray especially for our mayor and board of aldermen that they may have wisdom and discernment, Father, to do the best they can with what they have while they can. Father, grant us safety, protection, leadership, and guidance. We pray this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alderman French. Here. Alderman Anderson. Here. Alderman Bellamy.
Here.
Alderman Hobbs.
Here.
Vice Mayor Messick. Alderman Parsley. 5 are present.
I hear a motion to approve the minutes for June the 6th and June the 11th. Let's call. Do I hear a second? Any corrections or additions to the minutes? If not, I'll vote.
Alderman French.
Aye.
Alderman Anderson.
Aye.
Alderman Bellamy.
Aye.
Alderman Hobbs.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Messick.
Any correspondence?
No correspondence.
Any comments from the citizens at this time? If not, my comment is Alderman Parsley wants to thank everybody that for all the prayers that have been lifted up and everything that just the concern. And I just want to ask you to keep on praying for that family. At this time, comments from the committee. Safety.
We haven't met. We have a special call meeting on August 7th.
Finance.
Finance is the same. Special call meeting on August 7th. I think it's at 4. Safety's at 5.
Street.
We'll have a meeting August the 10th at 5:30 at the street department.
Water and sewer.
We'll have the meeting here on Thursday at 3 p.m.
Recreation.
Our next meeting is August the 10th at noon at the rec center.
Tourism.
We met at the end of July. Sponsor. There's a couple of events at Common John's, and then there's a county out of the Partners community.
Planning and zoning.
Everything we did planning and zoning, we're going to talk about tonight.
Information system.
Nothing to report.
Historic zoning.
We have no meeting this month. Our next scheduled meeting will be in September. We have nothing.
Get into resolutions.
A resolution authorizing the contract to purchase a utility tractor and lawnmower at a total cost of $54,875.14 for use by the Parks and Rec Department, sponsored by Alderman Anderson.
Need a motion.
Do I hear a second? Any comments from the board? Call roll, please.
Alderman French. Alderman Anderson. Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Hobbs. Vice Mayor Messick. Motion carries.
A second reading of an ordinance rezoning property owned by Pam Riddle at 2324 Murfreesboro Highway from RS1 to R4, sponsored by Vice Mayor Messick. This is a public hearing.
Do I hear a motion? Do I hear a second on this? This is a public meeting. Anybody that has any comments on public meeting for rezoning this? Any comments from the public? Any comments from the board? If not, call roll, please.
Alderman French. Alderman Anderson. No. Alderman Bellamy.
Just 1 second, I'm gonna look up the map.
Alderman Hobbs. Vice Mayor Messick. Motion carries 4.
Second reading of an ordinance to amend Manchester Municipal Code 18-205 relative to water rates, sponsored by Vice Mayor Messick.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded that in regard to water rates. Any comments from the board? If not, call roll, please.
Alderman French. Alderman Anderson. Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Hobbs. Vice Mayor Messick. Motion carries 5-0.
Second reading of an ordinance rezoning property owned by 2415 Construction LLC on Shelton Road from R1 to R2, sponsored by Vice Mayor Messick. This is a public hearing.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to table that.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second to table this. Any comments from the board? If not, I'll go.
Can we ask why you want to table it? I mean, this has been going on and on.
Okay. I would ask that you come and just state your name and address and come to the podium.
I live on Johnson Road and I'm Alice Louise, and I'm just asking why you want
Would you give your address on Shelton Road? Will you give your address?
685.
And I'll tell you, my reasoning behind it is this has been controversy from day one. And I think the whole board needs to hear it and vote on it.
We keep coming up here to talk about it. Last month at the meeting, which there wasn't a quorum, he was supposed to be here with a map on what he wanted to do. It was said last time that he would have it today at the next meeting. So,
I don't know anything about that.
no, he was supposed to have his renderings and what he wants to do with that property. You want to cover the map, rendering? Okay.
I just think it's important that we all hear the pros and cons of this before we make one last vote.
It's very important, but
I agree with you.
why isn't he here?
We've got one that's not here tonight, and he's got a good reason for not being here.
I understand. So we'll continue till next month?
There is a motion on the table to table it, and we'll entertain that motion.
Next month?
We'll have to entertain that motion tonight if the board votes to approve to table it.
If it if it's tabled, it requires a majority vote of the alderman present to be tabled. And then you'll have notice if it's on the agenda when they publish the agenda next week.
Posted on the sign, correct?
State your name and address.
Randall Quinn, I live at 357 Shelton Road. Just wanted to ask a question about the comment that was made about presenting to us exactly what the developer had in mind. I think you mentioned a schematic or a drawing or a plan. I asked that be provided when we do take this up, well, it'll be a month from now. Clarification on what the plan is. Something good.
So this isn't a vote on rezoning, right? And I don't know who said somebody was going to bring a schematic of what was proposed, so I'm not in that loop. So rezoning and what you're going to do on your property are two different things for two different meetings. If the developer promised you he would bring that stuff, then so be it. But I don't think the board of mayor and aldermen can require him to do that because it's just rezoning. It's not what he's going to build. That's not what the vote is. If that makes sense.
Okay, well, I would just follow
The
up.
developer promised you guys or said he was going to bring something for you to look at next time. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. We weren't at the last meeting.
Okay.
It wasn't at the last meeting, it was the first one that was here.
I would ask that you speak from the public. But are you finished?
Yes, ma'am.
And I would ask, Mark, that you tell how it came from the planning and zoning as a recommendation.
It came from the planning and zoning with a unanimous vote to proceed.
Sarah Bradley, as you know, 85 Kenwood Court, even though multiple government entities, including the Department of Defense and the Census Bureau, consider a personal address, PPI, and TDEC itself does not require the disclosure of a personal address during televised public hearings. But again, just to be clear, that is in the UGB. We all live in the county. I am a resident of the UGB. I just wanted to clarify where some of this confusion may be coming from. There was a lot of uncertainty. The developer was not sure what he wanted to build. There was mention of duplexes, which are not actually allowed in R2. There are some weird things with those amendments we passed to the zoning regulations that probably need to be sorted out transparently and documented in meetings with minutes. But there have been a couple of zoning requests, just two that I'm aware of, where the Planning Commission has requested site plans prior to approving a zoning. One was for Jesus, right there across from Westwood. He was kind of blindsided by the request for a site plan when he was wanting to go R3 to R4, and I'd never heard that request before. And then last month, the Parker rezoning on MacArthur was deferred for the same reason. We didn't have a site plan. So there's some inconsistencies in how we consider rezonings. For example, we just approved zoning of a annexed parcel with no development plans. We've done that a lot. 150 acres where we have no plans. So that may be a policy and procedure we need to look at, is what we require and don't require for rezoning requests. And that may be why there's some confusion, but the developer did indicate he would develop some plans. I shared some personal thoughts about the market with him because there's a niche we're missing. I don't think he needs to do more to make more money off his land. I think he just needs to do better. But also this will need a land use plan amendment because, as I said, the zoning amendments for Title 14, which were passed through Ordinance 1661 and came from the Land Use Subcommittee in undocumented meetings and were passed unanimously by the Planning Commission as a non-agenda item. They do allow multifamily, not duplexes. You won't have new duplexes. You will either have single-family homes or multifamily homes. I don't know if they overlook duplexes or what. As I said, there are no minutes. So that will need to be considered, the land use plan amendment. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments about tabling this? That is what is on the table right now.
Can I just speak?
Yes, your
Regina
name and
Quinn.
address, please.
Regina Quinn, 357 Shelton Road. I wanted to ask Mr. Missick what is different between when we had the planning commission meeting. How is this one any more controversial than anything else? What was controversial about it? You did it in front of the planning commission. That's what you decided to recommend here. Why are you not just voting on this now? What has changed between
Every
then and
meeting we've
now?
had,
What?
every meeting that I've been to that concerns this rezoning has been controversial. Even the planning commission people. Y'all fill the house. I mean, that's controversial any way you look at it. So I just believe that everybody needs to be here to vote on it.
Well, then why was it ever recommended to begin with?
Well, it was controversial, but we either had to recommend it pass or not pass that night. It came before the planning commission, so we recommended it to come forward with a pass. We gave.
You did recommend that.
We
So
did.
why can we?
For the planning commission. This is not planning commission. This is board and mayor and alderman.
What's that?
Totally different. Everybody on the planning commission was here to hear what everybody had to say that night. Everybody on the board of mayor and alderman is not here tonight.
You made the recommendation. You did.
The entire planning commission recommended to send it forward to the board with a positive recommendation. Everybody who was on the planning commission got to vote on it.
I think if you send it on,
Any more comments on tabling this?
I would agree with the citizens that if we're voting on some zoning matters as a board of five with one missing, it doesn't make sense to not vote on this, particularly when they've come up here, some of them 2 meetings in a row. So I'm going to vote against tabling that.
But we have never voted on this without full vote.
It says second reading. I mean, we just voted
It is, it passed the first reading.
We voted
had
on
6 people here.
other second readings of other zoning. We just did 2 other ones. So I don't think it's consistent. But we can disagree, Mark. That's okay.
That's good. We do a lot, but that's okay, yeah.
Any more comments on tabling this? If not, roll call, please.
Alderman French. Alderman Anderson.
No.
Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Hobbs. Vice Mayor Messick. Motion carries 4.
This will be the
First reading of an ordinance rezoning property owned by Lloyd Lynn Chapman and Sean Trail on 512 West Taylor Street from R3 to R4, sponsored by Vice Mayor Messick.
Mayor, I'd like to say this also. First reading, if you don't pass the first reading of the ordinance, you don't get a second chance.
down here, since tabling this as well. Any comments? This is not an open meeting, but any comments from the board? Not call the roll, please.
Alderman French. Alderman Anderson.
No.
Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Hawes. Vice Mayor Messick. Motion carries 4-1.
First reading of an ordinance rezoning property owned by Lloyd, Glenn, Chapman, and Sean Trail on 811 Lynchburg Road from R3 to R4, sponsored by Vice Mayor Messick.
Since we tabled the motion for the ordinance before that regarding that same property, cross road with each other, I'd like to ask you to table this one too.
Any comments from the board? If not, call roll, please.
Alderman French. Alderman Anderson.
No.
Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Hawes. Vice Mayor Messick. Motion carries 4-1.
First reading of an ordinance adding provisions to Manchester Municipal Code regarding citizens' comments, sponsored by Alderman Hawes.
Make a motion. Do I hear a second on that? Any comments from the board? It is basically that at every committee there will be a part. There will be a portion that it has public comment. No more comments?
Alderman French. Alderman Anderson. Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Hawes. Vice Mayor Messick. Motion carries 5-0.
First reading of an ordinance to add a provision to Title 5, Chapter 7 of the Manchester Municipal Code to adopt a cybersecurity and bid policy, sponsored by Alderman Parsley.
It's been moved and seconded, and any comments from the board? Just want to, again, thank you, Kenny, for working really hard. I know you spent hours and weekends doing it, and I just want to say thank you for that. Any more comments? If not, call roll, please.
Alderman French. Alderman Anderson. Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Hawes. Vice Mayor Messick. Motion carries 5-0.
First reading of an ordinance to amend Manchester Municipal Code 1-110 relative to Policies and Procedures Committee, sponsored by Alderman Hawes.
Do I hear a motion on this? It's been moved and seconded that there will be a policy and procedure committee. And right now, it will.
So actually, this is deleting that section of the code, and then I think the board is going to do a study and then come up with the right procedures, the right way of doing it. Look at it.
We were talking about impasse, that most cities are doing away with having this part in policies and procedures, and it will be, right now, that I'm proposing that MTAS, HR, and our HR will get together and bring it, but whatever's presented, it will be passed by the board, that we will probably have a special call to go over it and item by item, making sure everybody knows what we're voting on. Any more comments? If not, we're striking that ordinance. If not, call roll, please.
Alderman French. Alderman Anderson. Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Hawes. Vice Mayor Messick.
Do we have any old business? If not, first on the agenda is approved Elm Hill Street lights. Yeah, just came from the street department.
It's out now, where the old sub barn is, they got some new apartments. lady, if they're only going to ask them if they have street lights for safety.
Any comments? Not, call roll please.
Alderman French. Alderman Anderson. Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Hawes. Vice Mayor Messick. Motion carries 5-0.
Next, we have a job description for the Manchester Water and Sewer Billing Office. Ms. Candy we're just looking for, the job description is in your packet. Everybody's had a chance to read it. Do I hear a motion to approve the job description that's in your packet?
Make a motion.
Do I hear a second? Any comments?
I'll support this. Again, though, I really think we need to look into different types of certifications that come out. In a lot of ways, we're handicapping ourselves with college degrees. If we have an employee in-house, for example, we could have training for there are different, in this particular case, there are different types of accounting for some people who don't have college. So I bring this up every time we pass a college. In a world where that's becoming less and less a thing, I think we should kind of keep our finger on that pulse. I don't think it applies everywhere. This could be one of the situations. I'm not going to make a motion to change anything. I'm not interested. I mean, I just think moving forward, like that, I would like for that to be the guidance. I'm just saying that I'll vote on this the way it is. I just, again, that's one of the things I think. I would want to vote on that now, looking at different certifications. That with, I have that. Those are my feelings. We need to grow our workforce beyond that.
And Ms. Candy, she had lots of experience. She had some college education. She had lots of experience in running, taking care of the books, and she was put in that position. But you're saying if we find someone that has this experience, that we can always amend that part of the job description.
Yeah, I would prefer that we not have it in the job description, because it's going to discourage people from applying if they don't. I mean, if we got someone in a corresponding government that's got 20 years experience and they don't have a degree, they're not going to apply, or they're not going to be able to be considered for the application if this requirement is in there as a requirement. I understand. I think last time I brought this up, it may have been for fire, and I think that it was said that it was maybe preferred but not required. I think at least that language would be a bit more, it'll open up more applicants. And I don't think having a college degree is necessarily going to give you a clear cut. Andy's kind of a perfect example of that. Person leaving is a good example of why we're kind of handcuffing ourselves with that policy. I've seen too many times, particularly like promoting within, if you work here for 20, 25 years, and you've got the experience, you know how to do the job. Let me be clear, I'm not trying to dilute in any way the meaning of a college degree. I just think that there are certainly instances where it doesn't need to be a disqualifier for at least being part of the conversation. And by the way it's written here, it is.
Or if you had some language that says is preferred or similar experience, I think that opens things up for at least 4 more applicants for you to consider.
And we have it to where Miss Candy wants to step down to Brenda's place, and right now, we need to advertise it. But if you want to add something to that job description, if someone has a lot of accounting experience, almost a college degree, but there is a lot of accounting in it, and there's a lot that going on.
So I'll make a motion that at the end of the qualifications and skills on the first bullet point, says a bachelor's degree in a relevant field such as accounting, finance, or business administration is preferred. I'm going to make a motion that we add the words is preferred.
Okay. Do I hear a second on his motion of changing that?
I'll second.
Any comments from the board?
I would be curious to know what Director Miller's opinion of this is. Do you feel, I mean, it's going to be your choice to hire the person, right? Are you?
Right, I think we were shooting high, and, you know, I think that Mr. French brings up a good point, and this is why we have a board, so I think
It's a good change.
not bad, yeah.
So you're saying that if we have someone that comes in that maybe has worked and has maybe 3 years of college, I mean, there is accounting experience that is really needed in this, and you know, I highly appreciate Miss Candy and what she's doing. Any more comments on this? If not, call the roll, and would you restate your motion?
So my motion is to, under the qualifications and skills portion, the first bullet point where it says a bachelor's degree in a relevant field such as accounting, finance, or business administration is preferred. My motion is to add the term is preferred. The words is preferred.
Thank you. Any more comments? If not, call the roll, please.
Alderman French.
Aye.
Alderman Anderson.
Aye.
Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Hobbs.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Messick. Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Okay, moving right along, there is on the table that there is not an advisory committee, because PBA is a authority, but
We didn't vote on the office manager job description. We need to vote on that.
we changed that
We
one
voted
word.
to change it, but we didn't vote on it. That's something we need to do.
Okay, but we need to vote on approving.
56.
I hear a motion to approve that starting tomorrow we advertise this.
Yeah, there's a motion, correct.
That's it.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, if not, call the roll, please.
Alderman French.
Aye.
Alderman Anderson.
Aye.
Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Hobbs. Vice Mayor Messick. Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, right now, there is I'm proposing to you that there's good talk of having not a committee, just a working group that I guess I will ask who wants to be on that, just that works with PBA and just maybe what's going on at the meetings, but it is an authority. It cannot be a oversight. It's just a working committee.
Basically, we're going to do this just to open up communication. because since we've taken over, there hasn't been a lot of two-way communication. And you saw what happened at the last Budget and Finance Committee, last time we voted on the budget. So I think that it's a valuable asset to the city of Manchester, and I think we need to work to see if we can't keep it, keep the lines of communication open, so that next year when we have to vote on it, maybe we won't have this kind of animosity.
But it's not the word taking over. We cannot take over.
No,
we fund it. We contribute to it.
Well, yeah, we just want to open a two-way communication. Just let them know what we expect, and they can let us know what they expect.
If I may say something, I think the answer is almost never more government, especially when it's a committee that doesn't really have any teeth, so I would not be for this. I'd be for replacing whatever PBA members are not communicating with us and being transparent. So
we can't replace PBA members.
We can, by the same
term expired.
No, we can, by the same process that we put on. We would vote to remove them, and we add another one. So if we have PBA members that aren't doing their job and communicating, then that's where I think the solution is.
So I don't know that they know what they think, and I don't know really that their job is to communicate. Well,
I was going to ask, it's a pretty subjective criteria.
Well, Mark is saying, there's not good communication. I feel like I have all the information I need to make decisions. The minutes are online, the audits are online, and for me, it's not a project that's defensible. So this wouldn't be helpful to me, but if you all feel like it's helpful, go ahead.
You said we disagree on that, that's okay.
But we fund it as a contribution, but there is that, and if a member steps down, we don't even have authority to pull a member.
That's a question I've been asked, Mayor, and I don't know.
The comptroller's office said they're reviewed by the same process that they're, which would be by the mayor's recommendation and a vote of the board. So if we have members that we feel aren't doing their job or putting forth unrealistic budgets or accepting, tickets to Monterey or things that we feel like are conflicts of interest, then we would address it through reforming the board. That would be my preference.
If there's like you said, if there's an ethical complaint or some type of disciplinary complaint or somebody's violating the law or ethics.
Or there's no reasonable budget.
If it was a violation, I don't know for sure that we have the authority as a board that you have the authority to dismiss somebody because you don't like what they do, unless it is unethical or creating a conflict of interest. I'd have to talk to who you're talking to at the comptroller's office to get more clarity on what they're talking about. I don't recall what I read that the board of mayor and aldermen has the authority to pull somebody in the middle of a term for. I don't know that it's employment at will, but I would.
I think most boards, half the divorces in America would be fixed if there were a little better communication. That's all I'm asking. Just a little better communication between us and them.
Any more comments? We will form, ask two people from the board that they just maybe attend the meetings and look at how many events that they've had and look at how many motel, that the meetings are open to the public, but that's what we're voting on. Everybody understand what we're voting on?
Okay, go ahead.
No more comments? Call the roll, please. Did we have a motion and a second? Did we have a motion and a second? Did I hear a motion to form this don't think we can call it a committee, just to maybe have 2 people or 3 people that will keep up with, you know, when the meetings are, how many, look and just, we don't have authority, I don't think, and Craig, you're going to accept to fund it, and if someone comes in, that there's an opening, then we can approve who is seated.
So I'll make that motion.
And do I hear a second on that?
I'll say.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that we will have a working committee, or working committee. Any more comments? If not, call the roll, please.
Alderman French. Alderman Anderson. Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Hobbs. Vice Mayor Messick. Motion carries. Oh, that's a carry. So, yeah.
Okay. Also, we have a rec center job description of aquatic manager, athletic coordinator, wellness manager.
Make a motion for all 3 to approve all.
Second.
Okay. It has been moved and seconded. It is presented that we're going to approve all 3. Any comments?
Is this establishing job? Or is this just a job description? We pass this, does that mean we need to fill these 3 positions?
It is just, I think when, okay, AJ.
It's really a housekeeping matter. All 3 titles have the word director in their title. Since Paycom came online, it was determined, I guess, by code or ordinance that only department heads and assistant department heads could have director title in their names. So it's changing their titles. And we also looked at their job descriptions, which are approximately 20 years old, and just updated them and made them more correct.
This is just a housekeeping matter?
Yes, the positions are filled. This is not replacing any positions or adding new positions. It's just really housekeeping, updating no, not changing the base rate of pay. It's just updating the job description and the titles.
The word director out of the job description. Any more comments? If not, call the roll, please.
Alderman French. Alderman Anderson. Alderman Bellamy. Alderman Hobbs. Vice Mayor Messick. Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, any comments from you all?
No, just really continue to think about Susan and Bonnie and Bailey.
I do have a few things to say tonight. The first one is that our local Hardee's, today is the last day of their fundraising campaign for the local veterans, and they are currently #1 out of 91 stores in the region, and they won last year, and they're poised to win again this year. Their original goal was $10,000, and they increased it to $12,000. And I asked Charity, the manager, if she could come tonight so I could tell, you know, what a great job she'd done. Maybe we could give her a round of applause, but she's at work until 10. So if you guys would like to take a donation over and you haven't for the veterans, half the money stays right here in Coffee County, and then half goes to a 501c3 that's administered by Hardee's. And I also wanted to say, we didn't discuss it tonight, but there's been a lot said in the news and online about the bridge. And I'm doing my research on that, the bridge at Old Stone Fort. I think it's great that we have a lot of citizens who are doing research and who are engaged. I would like to see an option where we could keep the bridge. It has a lot of charm, it has a lot of character, and I think it's a symbol of Manchester, and it's been here for 50 years. So if you all are getting emails and people all about that, I just wanted to say where I was on it, and I was looking forward to trying to work together.
And I don't think anyone could have done a better job of Hardee's than we did. Thanks for sharing.
Looks like we'll get this through and keep it up. Stay safe. see the problem we have, and I'm hoping that we're going to take a good this. Carry on.
I'd just like to thank you all. Appreciate all the comments from those out there. And with that, I'm going to have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Do we have a second? All in favor, say aye.
First meeting.